Hello, everybody. Welcome to Just Ask Spirit. I'm Sherry Anna Boyle. I want to welcome you to the show. I'm the host of Just Ask Spirit. And if you're new to the show, welcome. This is a show about spirituality and mental health. And we also have a resident astrologer on hand, and her name is Carmen Turner-Schott. Hi, Carmen.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. And those of you that are new, Carmen comes on the show once a month to give us our astrology awareness update. And she is one of, wears many hats, Carmen. She's an author. And how many books do you have now?
I got 9 and one more coming out next year. So we'll be 10, but right now 9.
Okay, great. So you have 9 books and the last 2 books. So the most recent 2, one is called Moon Signs, everyone. So if you're into the moon, learning more about the moon, that's a wonderful book. The latest book that Carmen has released is called Phoenixes and Angels.
Yes. Mastering the 8th and 12th astrological houses. And here's the cover.
That's a beautiful cover.
So anyone that has a lot of Scorpio in their chart, their birth chart, or Pisces is going to relate to this book. And then, of course, if you've done your birth chart and you have a lot of planets in the 12th house or the 8th house, those are the spiritual houses in the chart. And the 2 that I've been researching for 25 years. And there's patterns, certain patterns that people have in life experiences. And so in the book, I talk about that and give tips and self-care tips for them, because they're usually very empathic, very psychic. They dream things, they help people, but they have to learn to take care of themselves too. So there's a lot of tips in the book, but it includes both houses and the planets through each, and some of my research and stories from other 8th and 12th house people are in there as well. So it's a fun book. It's out on Amazon right now for pre-order, and it releases 1 July.
Okay, so it's not actually out quite yet. It will be out in July. Okay, great.
Yeah, it'll be in July.
So, and I want to remind everyone that the Just Ask Spirit Marketplace. So if you go to sherryannabboyle.com, click on Marketplace, you're going to find a couple of Carmen's books there, the Moon Signs, her Sun Sign book. You'll also find other vendors that support the show, their books, their products, as well as some of my books and services there. And I encourage you to head on over to the Just Ask Spirit Marketplace and check it out, see what we've got going on there. But today, this episode, again, we're getting our July update. So take us where we were, Carmen, right? June, just lead us into July.
So June last month was a wonderful month full of energy. And so I don't know about you, but I was on the go a lot. I was motivated. My mind was going a mile a minute, and I was multitasking, all that Gemini energy, because, June was the month of Gemini, and it just inspired us to think and communicate and socialize and multitask and get a lot of things done. So I just felt like it was a whirlwind, and I was just like an Energizer bunny. I don't know. I had a lot of energy. I'm like, ooh, it's Gemini. I like this, and I left my house a lot and was doing things, which I typically like staying home. So I felt that more outgoing energy. And then as soon as the sun moved into Cancer at the end of June, I felt like I wanted to be a hermit. And so I kind of got tired. It's like all of that activity probably made you start feeling like, okay, now it's time to rest. I've been on the go, and now it's time to kind of look at everything I've done and kind of take a deep breath and get into that homey Cancer energy. So the sun did move into Cancer the end of June, and it's there till July 22nd. So Cancer energy, of course, rules the home. It's nurturing, it's emotional, it's sensitive energy. It's all about family. It's all about nurturing yourself and others, and cooking good food, and enjoying, entertaining people in your home, and having a time for solitude and meditation. And you're just going to want to relax and kind of be a little bit lazy in the month of July till the end of July, which we'll talk about how that'll change at the end of the month. But at the first of the month here, we're going to be feeling that want to be cozy and comfortable in our house with our family and pets. And you may not want to go out and be as social. And that's okay, because you just had a social roller coaster ride in June with all the Gemini energy that was going on.
So I'm thinking about Carmen, 4th of July, because that's generally a time when people get together and do cookouts and all of that. So how are we going to handle this?
What I see happening, because two things are going on. The first is we have a full moon on July 3rd. And it's in Capricorn. And so when the full moon is in Capricorn, this is called a buck moon, and it's a super moon, which means it's very intense, very powerful energy. When it's a super moon, it's going to be very bright. I'm sure everyone will see it. So that's going to be affecting us on July 4th. And what it's going to do, I think it's going to intensify our need to kind of be more practical. And you might want to just stay home and have people come to your house kind of vibe, instead of going out to a carnival or to a big concert with a lot of people around, because Cancer doesn't like to be in big groups with tons of people. Gemini did, in June we did, but now in June, I think people are going to be like, let's just have a few friends and family over and grill and be in our own house. That could be what you're feeling, and don't think that that's wrong. It's okay if that's what's going on, and you may not want to go to anyone else's house. That's how Cancer affects us too. We want to be in our home, in our house, or maybe our parents, because the 4th house rules Cancer. So it's about our family, our parents, and maybe we would go to our mom and dad's house or grandma, grandpa's or whatever. But typically we like to be in our own home and entertaining in our area. So you might feel that kind of shift, which might not be normally how you are. You might normally like to go to someone else's house, but you might feel that. That's what I think it's going to do.
Interesting. It's interesting because you say that in June we were motivated, getting out, and had a little extra energy.
Yeah,
and June for me, I really looked at what I've been eating. It's been really interesting. I've been really focusing on what and it's, and I just think about July is kind of like that month. You're like, oh, what the heck? Oh, what the heck? I'll eat, and I'm thinking about, as you're talking, I'm so curious about, have you ever looked at the relationship between food and how people eat and the plant? I'm sure that's like a thing.
Yeah, I think some of it is probably the moon cycles too.
Yeah, like the full moon, could that impact the way we?
Well, the moon can impact that, and also really looking at your specific birth chart, what these transits I'm talking about, where they're at in your natal chart. So you could have had the moon transiting your 6th house of health for 3 days, because it moves through each sign every 2 to 3 days. So it's going through. So you could have had Mercury or some Mars, something transiting your health house, or Virgo, which is all about diet, exercise.
So that's what prompted me to make these changes.
Yes,
that's what gave me the shift in the energy. And
Are you cut off?
So
there you are.
Okay.
You cut just a minute, just a short second.
So what you're saying is that as it cycled through, this could have been influencing me.
Yes, that's what the transits do. So when I'm talking about these energies, they're affecting everyone right now. But to really see really get deeper into how it's impacting you, I'd put a transit chart on top of your birth chart, and then I would see where all of these things are happening. Like the full moon in Capricorn, what house is that happening for you in? That's how you're going to be impacted. That's why everyone's chart is a little different, and different things and different karmic patterns and different situations happen. But the overall energy is the same. It's just where it's going to manifest in your life. And so something I would say was transiting your 6th house, because I'll tell you why, because I knew I had so much energy, and I was up every night till midnight on the computer doing stuff, typing, knocking stuff out. And I'm like, what is going on? So I looked at my transit chart, and I have Mars in Gemini. Well, the sun in Gemini was right on my Mars, conjunct in my 9th house. So it was bringing out all my passion and drive and energy of Mars in my natal chart that's in Gemini.
So were you writing this other book?
I was writing articles. I popped out 80 charts because I'm doing these free gifts on my website. And I was like,
80 charts?
yeah, I had 80 emails to do my website for free birth wheel. And I'm going to my program, knocking them out. Thank you for, visiting my website. I was getting stuff done. I thought, where is this coming from? Because I'm never this productive and this energetic. And it was that Gemini energy on my Mars and Gemini. And it was just a lot of Gemini going on. And so that's where I'm like, okay, this is cool. I like this Gemini energy. I'm like, I need to look and see every June. I need to watch and see, is this how I feel every June? Which it might be. I don't remember what I felt like last June, but I'm going to start watching it because I think when the sun is in Gemini, I feel really good. And I get a lot.
Absolutely fascinating. So there's June, just to give everyone a kind of idea of how this whole astrology thing affects us. I find it quite fascinating. So in July, you're saying we might benefit from more going within or sticking close to home, even though it tends to be a social time and perhaps crowds, and there is going to be a full moon. So it's going to be interesting. July 4th.
You may feel a little lazy because, Cancer, because if you really were busy in June, like I was, then July, it's like a time to recover and rest from the go, 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 go. Because Geminis are restless. They're go, go, go. They're here, there, doing one thing, multitasking, just doing, so now it's like Cancer's opposite of that. Cancer just flows calmly. It's ruled by the moon. It's sensitive, emotional, calm. So, and it rules the home. So you're going to feel a little bit more relaxed and want to relax more and watch movies and be with your family and cook food. And you can still entertain, but you may want to do it in your home with small groups of people. Where Gemini is like, go out on a concert, go with a big group somewhere, go to, and that's not.
Now, do you find that people, because I'm thinking of people who are listening to this and they're saying to themselves, okay, I have this awareness, but maybe my partner or my roommate wants to do like this big thing. So now how do I handle that? Do you find that everybody's going to kind of start to feel like, oh yeah, maybe let's keep it smaller? Is that how it works with this energy?
I believe so. I believe, because I can see it with everyone, because the energy of Cancer, I mean, it's going to affect everybody. And so depending though, we really need to look at the transit chart though to see, because but the Cancer vibe is going to make you want to relax and kind of withdraw into your home, no matter what area it's, whatever house it's transiting, it's going to do that. And so, and it's a whole month, that the sun is in Cancer. So 30 days. So we'll be feeling this till the end of July.
So get your recipes ready.
Yeah, just have fun.
Go grocery shopping.
But you may gain weight. You may want to eat, and comfort eating is big with Cancer. Cancers eat for comfort and emotional comfort because they're worriers. They're emotional worriers. So you might start feeling some of those energies of, why am I wanting to snack and all this, and it has to do with emotions. So really thinking, am I really hungry, or am I just stressed or bored? Because Cancers, they eat to comfort, and being home.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, that's their comfort thing, is eating and drinking and being, with food. That's, a lot of Cancers are chefs. A lot of famous chefs are Cancer sun signs. Yeah. And have Cancer energy, or people that can just naturally cook. I find that they have a lot of Cancer in their chart because they roll the home in the kitchen and, the heart of the home. But
I want to remind everyone, if you're really like, oh, wow, that's me, or wow, that's my friend. Remember, she's written books on these. So you can get this all in her books, Moon Signs, Sun Signs. And the most recent is Phoenixes and Angels, Masters of the, you said 8. Go ahead.
During the 8th and 12th astrological houses. Yeah, it's a big one.
Okay. So it's all there, it's all in her books. What were you going to say?
So the full moon, we talk about that every month. The full moon is a time to reflect. And when it's in Capricorn, we're going to be reflecting more on our career and goals and success, because Capricorn rules work, productivity. And so we're going to have a very powerful impact in our work and in our career area during this full moon. It's a super moon. It's a time we're going to want to work hard. We're going to have the grit and productivity to overcome many obstacles that have to do with our work and our coworkers, our success, our career, our bosses. There's everything about career is kind of going to be reflected upon during this full moon. And we may feel more serious, more practical, not want to spend money, just a little bit more cautious about things, and responsibilities, looking more at practical things is kind of going to be the focus of this full moon, and getting organized. And we can feel a little bit of a heavier energy this month, because Capricorn and Cancer are polar opposites. So they're very similar. They oppose each other in the sky, so they share a similar energy. They both are very compatible. So Capricorn, a lot of Cancer going on this month with the sun in Cancer, and a lot of Capricorn moon. That full moon is going to make us a little bit moody, because the moon rules Cancer. So it's ups and downs. It's okay. You might be more emotional, and you might typically not tear up or cry easily, but during this month, you might be more sensitive and cry or tear up, and it's not normally what you do. That's because the moon rules Cancer, and it's all this water. This water energy is affecting your inner nature, and it's making you feel things. So that's normal. Cancers are all about empathy and feeling, and it can be you could be a little bit sad. That's okay. And then it can shift, and you'll be fine. Just let yourself feel all the emotions that are coming around this month, because it's to get you in touch with your inner side, your inner moon. And so it's a really it's a heavier energy than last month. June was like a electric, air energy, Gemini, go, talking, socializing, computers, getting stuff done, moving around, getting outside. And now it's like withdraw. And let's rest.
It sounds healing to me. I know you use the word heavy, but for me, it sounds like we're going to be healing a little bit, and also taking some time to process what's been going on in terms of career, and how are we spending money. I think that can be very healing if you allow it to be. But is that what you mean, Carmen? Or is it, when
it's
you say
a big shift, it'll feel, the reason I say heavy, it'll feel very different than what we just came out of.
Gotcha.
So you may feel like, whoa, I'm like totally feeling different than I did last time, because it's such a drastic shift of energy from Gemini to Cancer. It's like, whoo, it's very different, because Geminis are extroverts, Cancers are introverts. And so you might be like, why am I not wanting to go and do things like I was in June? It's because it's the Cancer energy.
Just think of how much money you're going to save, everyone, right? That's the way I look at it. I always say, if I'm not working, I'm spending. So
I know, right? And then just some other transits I'll talk about that are affecting everybody. July 10th, Mars enters the sign Virgo, and it'll be there till 27 August. And we talked about Mars is the planet of passion, energy, drive. During this transit, we might have a strong urge to to perfect things, focus on the small details, because Virgos are perfectionists, right? And they are very detail focused. They're very
You're a Virgo, right?
I am. And I always notice the misspelled word, or if a picture's tilted.
Oh gosh, I hope you didn't see my social media post today. I was so mortified. I put it out there. I'm like, what the heck? People are going to think you are. Oh yeah. There was like 4 misspellings. I did it really early, and I did it quick, because I just want to get it, out there. And I went back and looked at it later. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. I had to quickly correct everything. So.
I do. I am already kind of a laser focus, like, and like all the links. I'll notice something that no one else noticed. I'm like, I just noticed the link, and they're like, how did you know? But it can be a blessing and a curse. Let me tell you. But I use Virgos, that energy. My son's there, so I'm always a Virgo. But with Mars there, we're going to all be a little bit more noticing things more that we typically didn't notice, because we're going to be detail focused. And just remember, during this time, don't be too hard on yourself, because Virgos can be very critical and high standard and expectations for themselves and others, and they can get hurt, because they typically they have to learn no one's perfect.
What is Virgo again? For what is the dates for Virgo?
Virgo will be coming up the end of August till the end of September. So like around August 23rd to September 20 is Virgo. So we'll be
Okay.
and my birthday's in August, end of August. So, but
Okay.
yeah, I love Virgo energy because I have a lot of Virgo in my chart, but Mars and Virgo can be a little bit difficult for people because you could be just focusing on things and kind of obsessing a little bit. That's what Virgo does. It makes us kind of ruminate on things if they're not perfect or things that are bothering us. So Virgos have to learn to let go and know they can't control everything. Okay, that's the thing with Virgo. They can't control everything. They have to learn to have faith and accept things and let things go and just do the best they can, you know. So you're going to feel like you want to get tasks done, work hard. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay. You're going to get your checklist all done and checked off, and you're going to be motivated to get stuff done and organized, because Virgos love to organize everything and have everything planned and ready. And that's what Mars and Virgo is going to do for everyone from July 10 to August 27th. You can utilize this Mars and Virgo energy to really clean your house, get rid of things, donate, straighten, organize. You may feel like
so some people might be almost behaving as if they're preparing for the fall, because a lot of times we start doing, I mean, in my mind, I start doing this sort of towards the end of August, because I know that a different routine is going to kick in, especially if you're a parent, you have kids. But it feels like we're going to almost be doing that earlier, but it's not really that.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
It's a very good time to declutter and organize and get rid of things that are weighing you down.
Get rid of the bathing suit that you've been wearing,
Yeah,
that's sitting in your drawer, your bathing suit, you know, those drawers where you're like, oh,
I'm like, oh, I might wear that, but you know, you never do.
this is the time. This is the time. Probably, yeah. So this is fascinating. We do need to take a quick break. I was wondering, Carmen, after the break, if you could quickly wrap up the July awareness update, but also within that time frame, could you give us some tips on that ruminating thing?
Sure.
The Virgo ruminating thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I know they're in your books, but maybe
Yeah.
one or two things or point us where we could find that information. So we're going to take a quick break, everyone. If you're just joining us, I'm speaking with Carmen Turner-Schott. She's the author of many books. You can find her at carmenturnerschott.com, or you can go over to Just Ask Spirit Marketplace at sherryanaboyle.com, and you'll find her books there as well. So we'll be right back after the break. Welcome back to Just Ask Spirit. Today we're getting our astrology update with Carmen Turner-Schott, and we're talking about July, folks. July. Where are we at here?
Yeah, I'm just going to hit a couple highlights. I'm not going to go a ton of detail because some of it we talked about last month, but July 11th, the planet of communication, Mercury, moves into Leo, and it'll be there till July 20, till the end of that month. And so all of July, we're going to be feeling more creative, romantic. We're going to want to have fun. We're going to be thinking about artistic things, flirting, and what can we do to have fun, and just kind of brainstorming things that we want to do and doing hobbies. It's a good time for that, and just a little bit of a fun energy there. Doesn't last.
So we're out of our little slump. That wasn't very long.
Well, that's Mercury. That's how our thoughts are. Yeah, our thoughts. We still got all the other stuff going on, but Mercury.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, no worries. And then July 17th, you know, the biggest thing is the new moon is in Cancer. So during and we have the sun in Cancer, like we just talked about. So it's like a lot of Cancer energy, a lot of emotional energy, a lot of focus on the home, focus on the family, focusing on your parents, your children, their needs, you know, security, safety needs, spending time to recover, replenishing your emotional tank, cooking, cleaning, enjoying what brings you things that help you feel connected. So connecting to people. And this is a time to set your intentions and get in touch with your inner feelings, emotions, and needs. And think about, what do you want versus what do you need? That's kind of this new moon in Cancer energy. Okay.
What do you want instead of what do you need? And again, we're in the July 11th onward here. Period.
Needs versus wants. Yeah.
Needs versus what do you need? I love that. Okay.
And then the cool thing is we had all this emotional Cancer stuff and a Capricorn full moon affecting us at the beginning of July. But now, guess what? Sun moves into Leo, the lion, the king of the jungle. And Leos like to shine. They're ruled by the sun, and they give bright, hope, positive energy. So we're going to be feeling like we want to have fun. We want to do things that bring us happiness. You know, it's all this warmth of the sun. Enjoy the warmth of the Leo sun. Get out.
How long does that go for, Carmen?
Leo, the sun is in Leo, July 23rd through August 22nd.
July 23rd. Okay. Through August. Okay.
So if you're born in July 23rd to August 22nd, your sun sign is Leo. You're a Leo sun sign. But everyone's going to be feeling the Leo energy, just like we felt all of this Cancer energy, the beginning of the month. Towards the end of the month, we'll be going into the end of the month into August, feeling fun and wanting to be creative and do all kinds of love and romance, and all of those things are great. And then, sorry,
your dog. So, I'm thinking about those of you who might be planning activities for whether it's your business or I'm thinking of like, wow, to myself, that would be a really great time to offer a creative workshop or creative, to teach something creative. Or if you wanted your business, your employees to connect with one, I mean, that would be kind of the time. Am I kind of reading that correctly?
Yes.
With that Leo energy. Oh, hello, baby. Hello,
like a team building, like a team
building. I'm thinking, okay, if I really take this in and apply this in my life, that would be a good time frame. I wouldn't want to do it before July 11th. That might be a little bit not the appropriate time. So that's interesting. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, Leo loves to shine and generous, and likes they real fun, pleasure, and self-expression. So it's going to be you're going to feel a light, summery energy, like a warmth energy, wanting to have more fun, do hobbies and things. You might get motivated to do a hobby you haven't done in a while, things like that. Leo is very good. The sun is a very positive planet. So, and Leos, they like to socialize. They love to be around people. So you're going to be a little bit more social when we get out of this Cancer energy, because we've been home, right? And then we're going to we're ready to go out and have fun and see people again, right? And so then as we get to the end of the month, the other biggest thing going on is that, we talked about it last month, is that Neptune is retrograde through December 6th. So we did talk just a little bit about it. I'm not going to go into it big, but the biggest thing is this is a time to get in touch with your imagination. You're going to meditate, write your dreams down, journal, think about what you really want in your soul, what your spiritual mission is, your path, things you want to do to get in touch with your spiritual side. And that's going to be affecting us through the end of through December 6th. It's a big transit that lasts a long time. And then at the end of this month, July 28th, the planet Mercury of communication is going to move into Virgo now. And that is awesome because it's in its ruler. And when Mercury's in Virgo, it's happy and it's not retrograde. And it's like we're going to be ready to communicate, write, travel, do all kinds of stuff and learn and plan. And we're going to feel really good mentally. And we're going to be able to write and unblock things and productive, efficient, getting things done that we wanted to do. So we're going to be thinking really clearly, and everything's going to be intensified, a good energy, like a motivating energy. With
July feels like a great month to me.
It is
a little bit of everything. You get to go inward, you get to be social, you get to get organized. I mean, that's like ideal. That's like everything you want.
Yeah, the beginning's a little bit focused like on emotions and deeper things, and maybe a little bit more solemn energy. And then we have all this fun energy coming back towards the end. Cool. The Leo, the fun, pleasure.
So I'm thinking, Carmen, because I just want to let the folks know, Carmen is going to also start her own radio show, right, Carmen?
Yes.
And I'm going to be a guest on her show, and I'm going to be talking about emotional detox stuff and energy and action stuff. So it's kind of like she's still going to be on Just As Spirit. Okay. Do not still tune in. She's going to still continue her monthly astrology updates here. But if you want more of her, just know. Now, did you schedule that right during that time period? I imagine that you did
Um,
when your show's going to start.
my first show, it'll be the second and fourth Saturday of every month
Okay.
at 8 p.m. Central Time on BBS Radio. And it's
And
called Deep Soul Divers Astrology.
and it's live, correct?
It'll be live so people can call in and ask us questions about, their chart, emotional detox. When
Perfect.
Sherry Ann is on, we're going to co-host the second.
Yeah, and you can call in, ask me questions like, what do you
Yeah.
want to manifest? How do I
Yeah.
do that? Right? It's going to
We'll
be
tie it into astrology and
Yeah.
her things and make it really cool and hopefully help callers that are live and we'll love it. And it'll be the second and fourth Saturday of every month at 8 p.m. Central. So I think it'll be a good time on the weekend that people can call in and they won't be working and hopefully
Sure.
we'll get some good
And I'll be
calls.
posting in if you don't follow us on social media for Instagram, I'm Sherryanna.Boyle. So follow me there. Carmen, you're Carmen Turner-Schott, correct?
Yeah, CarmenTurnerSchott.com. And then love you to follow me on Instagram, Carmen Turner-Schott, author, trying to build my Instagram. And then I'm on Facebook, Deep Soul Divers Astrology. And then Carmen Turner-Schott is my name on there. So love for you to follow on our social medias and our YouTubes. We both have YouTube channels.
Yeah. Yeah. So just follow, and both of us post each other's stuff. So you'll get updates on what we're doing, what we're talking about, and all that good stuff. So this has been awesome, Carmen. Thank you so much for sharing all your knowledge. What about the tips for ruminating? Those Virgos.
So people that have a lot of earth, especially Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus can also do this at times, but especially Virgos. They're ruled by Mercury, so they're always in their mind. They're thinking, and earth signs are very they worry. They're known to be worriers, and so they have to control their thoughts.
I'm an earth sign, by the way, everyone. You're not alone. Go ahead.
Yes, and you got some Virgo. That's why we get along too. You got some Virgo. I believe it's your node is Virgo Pisces. I'll have to look again.
Okay.
So you have that soul of a Virgo naturally, I think too. And so Virgos love to write. They love to communicate and learn and read and all these things. But they like to help people, like take care of people. But the problem is when one thing isn't going right, or if something is bothering them emotionally, they overthink it. And they obsess. They're known to be obsessive compulsive a little bit. So they're like, well, why don't they like me? Why did this happen? Well, they said this, and they will repeat things, but they said this, and I'm guilty of it when something doesn't make sense to me, or I'm hurt or upset. But why did they do that? But why? That's a Virgo thing. Why? You can't always know why. And so you have to learn to let things go. You're never going to be able to read somebody else's mind and know why they did something. The only tip I give is that just know that the only thing you can control is your own mind. And when I learned that, it helped me so much because I'd have trouble sleeping. I remember I'd worry about my daughter in the bassinet, and I was scared to put her in her crib and leave her for the first time. And I laid there worried, and I thought, I have no control over this. So that's another thing. I don't have control if something's going to happen to her in the crib. I have to trust that the universe and God is going to protect her, and I can just do what I can do. And when I have that shift, and like, I have to stop worrying and overthinking, I felt like a weight lifted off. And it's a daily practice though in my life. When I have work things or things at work that bother me, I will be up thinking about it in the night. I'll wake up and I'm like, I have to let it go. So what helps me is prayer, breathing exercises, just doing deep breathing and stilling my mind, stopping my thoughts. And another thing, being off of electronics. And I tell you, it's like walk the walk and talk the talk. I can tell you guys, I know it works to stay off the iPhones and the computers about an hour before bed, but I'm guilty of not doing that. I'm always in there on my phone or something in bed until I put the light off. And that's not good for people that tend to ruminate. Yeah. Because your mind is too active. You need to get your mind.
Oh, I know. When I'm very good about my phone. I'm very good about limits and all that. But
Yeah.
my thing is when my husband puts the phone in front of me, watch this video, look at this, look at this,
Yeah.
and the light is blinding. And I'm like, I'm in my shut off time. I tell him that this is my shut off. I cannot look at your phone. Or when he does it at 7:00 in the morning, I'm like, I cannot, this is my meditation time.
Yes.
I cannot look at the phone.
Yes. Or the
You just have to
TV.
I have to just be really, really clear about that. That's great. I mean, I agree with you, Carmen. You can only control what you can control, folks. I mean, you really do have to let go and learn how to trust. All of us do. I think no matter what sign you are, right? That, but there are some that might be more intense for them than others. And I'm definitely an earth sign. Processing my emotions has helped me amazing. I mean, it's just, I'm so much better than I used to be. But I love those reminders, the phone and the limits. And any final thoughts before we wrap up here?
Yeah, just, enjoy the month of July, tap into that creativity and enjoy being home, and then enjoy doing your hobbies and things towards the end of the month. And it's a good energy. There's a lot of good things going. There's, some big transits that we talked about that are affecting everybody, but they're going to be around for months. So it's, we'll make it. We'll be all right.
Yeah, we always do. We always make it, don't we, folks? I am going to be right back after the break, everyone, with some final thoughts. But thank you so much, Carmen, for coming on Just Ask Spirit. Best of luck with your new show and with these books that you could keep birthing.
Thank you.
And it sounds like there's going to be another one. So once again, Carmen Turner-Schott, her latest book is Phoenixes and Angels, and Moon Signs is also out there. And make sure you follow us. But I'll be right back after the break, everyone. I'm going to give you some more thoughts on ruminating, wrap up the show. Be right back. Welcome back to Just Ask Spirit. And now I'm at the part of the show where I give some thoughts about the topic that we were just talking about. We were just talking about ruminating with Carmen. And I also talk a little bit about emotions and spirit. And I wanted to give my thoughts about this. So I often experience things through images. So I'm going to deliver. And that's how spirit talks for me anyway. That's how I experience spirit, as I can see images or sometimes I hear things. But when it comes to ruminating, I want you to think of it like this. I want you to think of it as airing down your tires. So I don't know if you've ever driven on a piece of land that required you to air down tires. So I live close to the beach, a couple miles, and we used to drive on the beach and kind of pack up and hang out for the weekend or for the day. And it requires us to air down our tires so that we can move through that sand more easily. And I kind of think, at least Spirit explained it to me that way, of ruminating as similar, that, you can try to get through that sand or get through whatever it is that you're thinking about, whatever is weighing on your mind, right? Because it reminds you of that, the sand, and you might just spin your wheels. You're not going anywhere and you might get stuck. Or you could really air down your tires in your mind, visualize that, but also experience it in your body as just taking a little bit of pressure off. So it could also be if you were to blow up a balloon and you get that balloon to be so full that it might pop. But if you let a little bit of air out, then the chances are that it won't pop. Right. So think of it in that way, where if you're ruminating, you're worrying, overthinking, soften up, soften your body, soften your breath, soften your mind. And it happens to be that when we're in that space of softness, that gives us the ability to start to process what we feel. And when we're thinking and ruminating, we're really pushing through those feelings. and we're hardening ourselves, we're hardening our spirit, we're hardening our heart. And because you're just stuck in it. And if you can just soften and allow yourself to have a breath, allow yourself to have a moment, allow yourself to pause and be more present and allow the rhythm of your own breath to kick in, you're going to find that you're able to move through whatever it is that you're going through or thinking about with far more ease, less stress, and less tension on your body. All of these tools can be found in my books, especially the latest one, which is Energy in Action. And that book's a wonderful book because it teaches you how to process your emotions. It also teaches you how to connect with your spirit. And I really believe that's the way that we can live in peace and harmony, that we have to include both, not just one or the other. And the cool part is when you process your emotions, your thoughts will naturally change for the better. So feel free to check out those books. And I've also got the Energy in Action course, folks. That's a course that you are self-guided, that you can take yourself through. And what's nice about it, it's me talking to you just like this. And I talk to you about the spiritual laws, and I take each individual law, and it goes along with the Energy in Action book. It's not instead of, it's a companion to it. And then I also guide you through 13 energy healings. It's really, truly spectacular. And if I were someone who was feeling like, gosh, how can I change my energy? I would really consider checking out that course. It's called Energy in Action on SherryAnnaBoyle.com. Thank you for listening. Remember, your emotions matter. Processing them matters more. Take care, everyone.